When we design a building, we don't differentiate between what we design for the members and what we design for the sale. We keep the same.
I am with Vivek Mohanani. Vivek is the managing director of Ekta World. People in redevelopment, the original tenants were being thrown out. They had to go somewhere else. The builders were not ready to give them homes over there, or probably they said कि आप हमको घर बेच दो निकल जाओ.
So that you need to handhold each and every member, make them understand what is the challenge, what we are also facing in terms of where design is concerned. And once you tell them and make them understand properly and they know that you are there for them, definitely they understand that.
At that point of time, I remember that societies and members would specially fight on corpus. आप हमको 50 लाख कॉर्पस दो, 1 करोड़ कॉर्पस दो. We have so many examples where they started getting income tax notices because the corpus amount was so huge. But now I don't see that. What changed? I was going through the July month sales report and the registration report. The number of homes registered were less, but the stamp duty in July collected by the state government was humongous.
Yes.
It was more than what it collected in April also, when
Right.
we had a higher say.
But every member thinks that yes, he's a landlord, he's an owner. This is his birthright, his wish list, which I think he's not wrong at all.
Namaskar and welcome to Square Feet India. I'm Varun Singh. Today we are sitting with someone whose company for almost 35 years and were amongst the pioneers when it came to redevelopment of old buildings, especially in the Bandra, Khar, Juhu, Santa Cruz area. When they started constructing, at that time, people who would stay in those homes, it was very difficult to convince them to come out and give their homes so that it can be rebuilt and rebuilt into a new one where they would get an extra space. All those challenges that redevelopment consists of, not just from the home buyer's perspective or the member's perspective, but also the challenges that the developer faces. We are going to discuss all of that with Vivek Mohanani, Managing Director of Ekta World. Vivek, welcome to Square Feet India. Redevelopment in Khar, Bandra, Santa Cruz, and these areas, it has changed over the years. Your dad started long ago in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
From there to now, what has been the journey and how it has changed? If you can tell me.
So 2001 is our first project in Khar, which we started. And since then, after that, there's no looking back. The journey at Ekta, our prime focus is redevelopment. We have done minimum, 28 projects redeveloped so far. And I think Bandra Khar itself needs a lot of upliftment. And the redevelopment projects out here, engaging with members, is great. So that's how.
You say engaging with members is great. That I was going to come to that, because we always hear that in the suburbs or other places, the members, the tenants are very cringy. They keep asking for a lot more. I mean to say, is it the same thing that happens over here also, or people over here, the way we say कि हाँ अरे बांद्रा के लोग हैं, अमीर हैं, ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, nitty-gritties को वो भी एकदम ध्यान से देखते हैं.
We should know who we're talking to. We're talking to members who have lived over here for more than 30-40 years in the same building. They have grown here, they have got married here from the same building, and for them it's not only redevelopment, it's also emotions. So all these guys today, when we talk to them in terms of redeveloping the society, they ask, fine. I mean, people want to ask an extra rent or extra corpus or extra area. But I think they are right.
Yes.
Because every member, even though it's a society, but every member thinks that yes, he's a landlord, he's an owner of his apartment.
Absolutely.
And this is his, this is his birthright, his wish list, which I think, he's not wrong at all. Yes, there are also a proper project cost has to be taken care, a bottom line has to be taken care of. Every project has a different dynamics. But today the ask what members are asking, and I think it's their birthright. One should give it to them.
Okay. To be very honest, redevelopment started from the south of Mumbai. It was a picture, a narrative was drawn as early as 2000 that people in redevelopment, the original tenants were being thrown out. They had to go somewhere else. The builders were not ready to give them homes over there, or probably they said कि आप हमको घर बेच दो निकल जाओ. But the more we moved towards north, the more we came towards Bandra, the more we came towards Khar or that side, Chembur, to be very honest, we started seeing a change in the builders' attitude. What exactly is that change? Builders over here started talking to the tenants or accommodating tenants, or what exactly happened?
You know, today the members of Bandra Car Cycle societies, so at Ekta, I'll tell you, like even
Absolutely.
on Ekta's side. So the society which which we are negotiating a few of them, and so much of time one has to give to each and every member, and that is something which I think everyone should do. Each and every member, they has a requirement, they want to discuss their space. For them it is their home. For us it is maybe a project, but it's their home. So giving that time, energy, and for some reason things are great. Bandra Science Cruz, I think, is the most thriving community today in terms of where redevelopment is concerned. And yeah, so that's how.
My next question to you was, because we spoke about tenants so much, can you tell me an interesting case study that you faced where you had to go and discuss कि भैया थोड़ा मान जाते हैं या उनकी प्रॉब्लम्स क्या थी वो समझें और ऐसा कुछ anything of that?
So one society I remember,
Mhm.
it's in Khar,
Mhm.
and there are about 20 members in the society, and they have about over 7 to 8 variations. There are different areas of what they are consuming right now. Some flats of 500 square feet, some of 650, some 520. So so many variations. So everybody who we give an extra area is on what the area they are consuming.
Yes.
Correct. So we had to literally convince the buyer, I mean the member, sorry, okay, is that you are getting an X plus Y area. Okay, we can't have a building with so many variations. So look at in the sense of maybe reducing your apartment, okay, by we giving you a compensation,
Okay.
or you additionally purchase an area so the building looks symmetrical,
Oh.
right? Then there was also a challenge where some people who were for the longest time living on the west side, which is the roadside, we couldn't accommodate them on the same location and position. They had to be gone to the east. So that's something also which was a challenge. But somehow we explained to them, to the members, that look, we are one family. Okay, we need to understand also where the structure is concerned, and we accommodated everybody. And end of the day, they are happily staying in the project, and they thank me for us advising them about their areas and location.
So, you mean to say the larger good, if told to tenants properly and explained to them properly, they do understand that.
Absolutely. So it is just that handhold. So that you need to handhold each and every member, make them understand what is the challenge, what we are also facing in terms of where design is concerned. And once you tell them and make them understand properly, and they know that you are there for them, definitely they understand that.
No, also because we were talking about you mentioned compensation, so it took me back to 2007 and 8 when I used to report for a newspaper. At that point of time, I remember that societies and members would specially fight on corpus. आप हमको 50 लाख corpus दो, 1 crore corpus दो. We have so many examples where they started getting income tax notices
Yeah.
because the corpus amount was so huge. But now I don't see that. What changed?
So now I'm talking about again the vicinity of
Yes,
Bandra
yes,
Khat.
yes, yes.
So people have digested that yes, the corpus amount which they are asking could be more, but seeing the developer side, there's a bottom, there's a project cost which we need to look at. So and there are projects which are getting developed. There are about over 150 redevelopment projects only in this vicinity. So people know that yes, this is the corpus which is right now can be delivered by the developer. And if anything asking which is not reasonable, ultimately, like they feel the developer somehow some way will, like basically reduce the amenities or something of that sort.
Yeah.
So they've understood that, and they've been very reasonable in terms of their ask of corpus. So it's like everybody is is very synced in whether asking or Corpus is concerned.
So probably they have started understanding कि okay, developers also if they are going to give me more money as corpus, कहीं ना कहीं वो amenities में कुछ ना कुछ adjust हो ही जाता था. So it's better to be on on balance it out. Redevelopment once used to be seen as something जहाँ पे building tenants के लिए बना दिया गया, and another project would be not very extravagant. However, it has changed. Even for tenants, extravagant flats are being made, and the flats that used to be sold earlier or
Yes.
now, things have changed. It has become like luxury. आज redevelopment luxury हो गया. पहले ऐसे दिखता था कि प्लॉट लिया उसके ऊपर जो बिल्डिंग बना वही luxury होता था, but redevelopment has changed into ultra luxury,
Right.
super luxury. How did this phase come into, and how did you all adapt to it, or how did you bring into it?
So for us, redevelopment is luxury.
Yes.
Okay. When we design a building, we don't differentiate between what we design for the members and what we design for the sale. Whether it's the amenities for the members or it is what for sale, we keep the same. So we're saying luxury, we're giving imported marble, modular kitchen, AC, home automation, we do that for the members. We're giving, say, 11 feet slab to slab, we give them to the members. We don't differentiate. So automatically the building itself does not look like it's a difference between redevelopment and a sale. It looks like one luxury building. So having adapted that school of thought and not having any differentiations has made the building design look good.
And people do not, even the buyers do not mind these days. There was a time, I'm talking about long back, there was a time when buyers would also like not want to invest into redevelopment projects. Investors would also not come in, but it has changed over the period of time, and redevelopment has become luxury, ultra luxury.
Right.
So do you think it will change? And it has, to be very honest, I was going through the July month sales report and the registration report. The number of homes registered were less, but the stamp duty in July collected by the state government was humongous.
Yes.
It was more than what it collected in April also, when
Right.
we had a higher sale. That shows that bigger homes are selling. So
Absolutely.
that shows that luxury homes are selling, and that is the reason stamp duty
Yes.
collection is very high. I can name projects in Burli and all those. What's the scene over here in Bandra or Khar? The same scene or?
So I must tell you one thing, just to add to what you just said. So only in H1 from Jan to now 6 months, it has Mumbai only in luxury.
Yes.
Has seen about over 14,000 to 50 crore sales.
Yes.
Which is the data is available. And out of that, all the apartments, about over 690 apartments, all of them are 10
10
crores
crore
and
plus.
above.
Yes.
Okay. Now, these are all luxury apartments which are selling. Most of them, I believe so, is in South Mumbai because of the ticket size. This is Worli or this, Hughes Road, those kind of areas. But, you'll be surprised to know this. 30% of that amount, sales has been in the vicinities of Bandra, Khar, Santacruz,
Yes.
Juhu. So people are aspiring. It's luxury. Earlier was only in the locations of Worli and beyond,
Malabar Hill and all.
Malabar Hill and towards the south. But now it's not so. There's something about Bandra, Khar, Santacruz, the vibe, the environment, the connectivity. Now we have the coastal road coming, at Cart Road. So all that has really been I think Bandra, Khar, Santacruz today is one of the hottest vicinities for luxury, and most of them projects are all redevelopment out here. So people are aspiring to build stay in luxury homes in this vicinity.
The report that you mentioned about 14,000 crores, it also had a point that in South, people from Bandra, Goregaon, all those people are moving. So who are the people moving to Bandra and Khar in luxury? What is the audience?
I have some clients who bought with us staying in Lokhandwala.
Okay.
In Lokhandwala, in apartments of maybe 5, 7, 8 crores, and now they have to uplift themselves. They've come down to Bandra, Khar, Santacruz. We have some clients who moved from South Mumbai, from Low Parel, because Low Parel is
Congested.
very congested, and they realized that. and they moved to Banakar Santa Cruz. So it's coming from different areas. And as I said earlier, is that Banakar Santa Cruz has a mix of retail, a mix of hospitality, a mix of a great community. So everybody is realizing that, and they're coming to this vicinity, which is great for us.
What is the current project you're working on?
So currently we have about 8 projects going on. So at Ekta, we're also into, besides luxury, we're also into mid-size projects. Like we're doing a project in Goregaon
Yes.
called Ekta Tripolis, and that's about 1.5 million square feet. And recently we got our occupancy certificate. So that's a ticket size between 3 and 5 crores. So that's also one of our projects which we're doing. And then we're doing about 4 redevelopments, one in Khar, one in Santa Cruz, one in Juhu, and one in Dadar, Parsi Colony. That's also very exciting.
I know.
Very exciting area.
It's a very beautiful project.
Yeah, and very exciting area facing the 5 gardens.
Yes.
So that's something which newly we have just launched. So yeah, so that's how we're doing projects in this vicinities.
How was the response to your other project in Parsi Colony area, the tall one at the
It
next
was
to
great.
the
It's a
road?
building called Ekta Invictus.
Yes, Invictus.
Yeah, it's I think one of the tallest
Yes.
buildings in the vicinity. And we built one flat of floor. Again, it was a redevelopment.
Yes.
The landlords who came back. We did one flat of floor, and it's come out a very nice building.
How was the response? Because I think probably that was one of the first projects of yours towards that side.
So so initially, obviously, we had to build the structure, create a show apartment, create
Yes.
an experience, and then the response got in, because those in those times when we started the project, there were not a lot of high end projects in the vicinity.
Yep.
So initially, it took some time to just get the whole system evolving around that area, bringing people to Parsi Colony and 5 Gardens from different vicinities. So obviously it was a little challenging at those times, but now that area has about more than 75 redevelopments going on, and people who live in Parsi Colony, who live in the 5 Gardens, who live in Matunga, they don't want to go to any other area.
Yes.
So they want to stay in their vicinity itself. So that's my target audience.
That place has a different charm. That Hindu colony on this side, Parsi colony on the other side, all the 5 gardens.
Right.
So was it at the start? Was it difficult to convince the landlord? Because I have heard that landlords over there are very strict, not stingy, but they have their own control. कि नहीं हमको यही करना है, हमको इन्हीं के साथ जाना है. So how difficult is it to convince a landlord?
So yes, you're right. Some of the landlords, most of them actually, are Parsis, and they've been living, their forefathers living there since 70, 80, so many years. So obviously they're very, very insecure about even moving
Yes.
out. But the next generation, people want to have taller, higher homes on higher levels, so and larger homes. So convincing the second and third generation was not very difficult. But yes, we've also had discussion with the first generation, who's been there, who's born there, and he's like now maybe 80, 85 years old. So understanding him and his school of thought, and from where he comes from, I think he's not wrong, because for him that is his only thing which he's born there, and he's lived there for 80 years. So yes, I mean it's a little challenging, but then eventually once you go there, and you give that personal interaction with them, they feel yes that you are genuine enough, and that's how things can move very smoothly.
And now with you all entering, and then as I'm not tarififying you, but you all entered over there. Apparently, you all were the first big developer, and now I see a lot many other developers. So does any of them call you all, say कि oh thank you, आप लोगों ने landlord को एक समझाया, एक building बनी तो convince हो गए?
No, definitely not. I mean, we have a lot of friends over there, but everybody is doing very good work, and that's how we learn from each other. We look at each other, we evolve. So I must say, all buildings over there all developers are doing great work. No one calls me for any reference or anything.
One thing, things have changed. Earlier, there used to be मतलब बिल्डर आया तो दे वुड सी टू हिम कि यार बिल्डर है, गलत करेगा. देन केम महारेरा, एंड now with Maharera, how do you see things? Has it streamlined it? have things become better, and have people started respecting developers thoda sa ek notch aur upar?
So Mahar era, after coming, I think is the biggest thing has ever happened to the Indian real estate. Because the insecurity in members, in clients' mind is completely gone out of the window. People realize that yes, there's someone who is there, who can intervene, who can ensure the project is delivered on time. And looking at things, looking at a record post Mahar era, what's happening around, you will barely see any abandoned project. Somehow or the other, the developer has not completed it, then there's someone else who's gotten in the shoes and completed the project. Back in the days, even 10 years ago, you would see abandoned projects for the longest time. So that has really made a lot of difference. It has made, I'm talking about Ekta now again, it has made us get into a process in terms of delivering more on time. So getting more customer centric. So all these changes have happened at Ekta post Mahar era. And lastly, what we do, most of our projects, in fact, all of them by now, is that we have a digital clock outside all our projects.
Yes.
Okay. So we give a day to Mahar era for, say, I'm completing a project, say, in 500 days. So Mahar era, I'll put it at 700 days.
Yeah.
So it keeps us all aligned. We know, okay, fine, Maharera, we have 7 days, but the digital clock on site speaks about 5 days. So the entire team, from the supervisor to the site till the CEO of the project, is completely aligned that yes, he has to deliver this project in so and so time. So that way, I must really thank Maharera for coming into existence, and actually with this there's been a differentiation between the men and the boys. you know Developers who completely believe in execution and completing a project on time are obviously here to stay, and the ones who build a project and they come and go. So it's obviously difficult for everybody.
Redevelopment involves lot of file processing, and it happens at the BMC. Many developers have started openly saying that it takes a lot of time and a lot of money to get a file process. How difficult it is, or is it easy? Has things changed?
See, the system today, every system today in the BMC has become online.
Yes.
Okay. They have 100 compliances. You comply all of them. Okay. Believe me, now everything is online. You've complied everything. You put up the project for approval of an occupancy certificate. There's a system in this in on the portal, is that the file from one engineer to the other engineer, if it cannot stay on the table for more
Yes.
than 7 days, moment there's it passes that, either it goes back to the architect or moves ahead. So with that, a lot of clarity has come in. Okay. And at Ekta, at least, I'm seeing approvals coming much quicker than it used to come when it was an offline process. So I think everybody has evolved together.
But the government should reduce the premiums on FSA and all.
We would obviously love that, because see, right now we're seeing a great demand, vis great. There's also an equal supply. But having said that, seeing the increasing supply, according to me, in the next 6 months or 12 months, the market will slightly soften.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I personally feel. So, with that, when prices slightly, there could be a slight correction, maybe after 12 months. So, what happens in that case is where we need the government support. Like in between, they gave us a reduction of 50%
Yes.
on premiums.
Yes.
That's the time when we need their support. to come in, so that developers don't just reduce the prices and sell because to manage cash flows. But if there is some kind of an incentive from them, from the government, then definitely we can ensure project delivery also on time.
But why do you think there would be a correction? Because
um
that is what many people would want. Home buyers especially would love if there's a correction. But why do you think there would be a correction?
See, I'm again not talking only about luxury.
Yes.
Okay, luxury, there couldn't be a correction. There could not be a correction rather. But in terms of where affordable housing is concerned, okay, where apartment which is sub 1 crores is
Yes.
concerned, okay, we're not seeing. So who are our buyers? Our buyers who are job oriented. They take an home loan. Home loan prices are great.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
obviously
the best.
aspire to go lesser, but then it is great, it's affordable. Okay. But most of these companies who they're working with, right? So recently you would have heard of TCS,
Laying off
laying off so
12,000.
many employees. So this is something which is like I hope it's not a cascading effect, right? So ultimately, we're talking to the guys who are again job oriented. They're on salaries. So if companies, if MNCs think on that perspective that yes, they could want to like cut some overheads of theirs. So then ultimately, obviously, it falls down to that very very person who is aspiring to buy his first home, or or an apartment, sub 1 crores. So there in that segment, I feel there is not much of a growth in terms of where pricing is concerned.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very valid answer. What do you feel the future of redevelopment will be? I'm coming towards the end. So this is my second last question. Last question will be, what do you think would be the future of redevelopment across Mumbai will be? And how do you see the real estate scene of Mumbai?
So the only way to for Mumbai to get developed is through redevelopment.
Redevelopment.
Okay.
Yes.
In a project, in a vicinity, okay, there are so many buildings which are non-redeveloped. So, like for example, I'll give another one example. Again in Khar, I'll come to that. So there's a project which I'm building in front of it, and there's a project which I built on the right of it.
Okay.
So it's the only building which is surrounded by all high rises, and obviously that society feels that yes, it's time to come, it's time to get redeveloped, and we're already in terms of negotiations and signing the development agreement. So with that, the whole vicinity is getting redeveloped. So a lot of societies who even 5 years back thought that we don't want to get redeveloped, and we're very happy with our space, are seeing all new projects coming around, and they're getting a little like fear of missing out, you know,
The
and they
FOMO.
know that this is the right time. The market is great, developers are selling well, prices are good, velocity is great, home loan rates are less. So this is the best time for them to get the right compensation, corpus, rent, extra area. So in that perspective, I think there's the future of Mumbai is redevelopment, and there's going to be a lot of development happening. And nevertheless, even the largest slum of Asia also is getting redeveloped.
Yes.
So there is something which is working very well for Mumbai, and in just completely it's uplifting the whole Mumbai face.
You know, I come to my last question, and it is a very simple one. I don't think it will take a lot of, मतलब ज़्यादा सोचना नहीं पड़ेगा. Apart from your dad, obviously, he has to be your inspiration, someone whom you look up to. Apart from him, give me at least one or two or three names of developers who you think are doing great and are along with going along with you all,
So
and who you look up to.
definitely, I mean there are two of them who I completely look up to. One is Dr. Niranjan
Oh.
Hridandani. Okay, the way he has built Powai, Thane, Panvel,
Yes.
the communities. I mean,
Yes.
he's built like vicinities. He's not built only a project. And even today, he is so grounded, and in terms of what he is doing in changing the location, the vicinities, is really great. So I really look up to him as a developer, as a person, and just the way he is. He's great.
And second?
And the second developer who I love his projects, everything he does with so much of passion and zeal, and everything is so luxurious, is Mr. Vicky Oberoi.
Oh, I was Vikas Obra. I somehow felt you would talk about him.
Yeah. So, recently I got an opportunity to go to one of his projects, Oberoi 360,
Ah,
and what he
well,
has built, in terms of amenities, in terms of, I can go on and on, honestly, because that project, I think, is one of the best projects I've seen ever in life. So, the vision and the passion, it just completely shows around that. Yes, it's him over there. So yeah, these are two guys who I
and two
really,
extremes. Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani, a legend, and Vikas Oberoi is
yes,
now climbing up that stairs.
yes,
He's
yes,
young. And I did say last, but I think I have one more question for you. Apart from real estate, obviously अब दिन भर तो ईंटे पत्थर prices बात नहीं कर
yeah,
सकते.
yeah,
There has
obviously,
to be something else that also, like your dad is an awesome singer.
yeah.
So what drives you?
So recently,
Hmm.
I would want to say that I've always been in playing a sport, but recently I've started to play paddle.
Oh.
So and I've become so addictive to it that even if I have to, like, leave my office at 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. and there's a court which is available and
Hmm.
there's a game happening, I reach out for it. So it's like, I wonder, like, why I didn't start playing the sport a few years ago. But yes, so I just love the game paddle, and it just keeps the energy going. It's a great eye hand coordination game, and yeah, so that's something which I do play a lot in my free time.
Oh, that was that was an interesting one. So for future home buyers, let me take this advantage of saying that there's some good news. That is what Vivek has predicted. And apart from that, Mumbai is actually changing. Mumbai is changing from south to north, from east to west. There's a lot of redevelopment happening, and with redevelopment happening, the more the supply, the more the homes available for you. The options are ऑप्शन इंक्रीजेस दैट हेल्प्स द होम बायर टू चूज.
Yes,
होम बायर को हर एक सेगमेंट में घर मिलता है, and that is what actually the purpose of redevelopment was. Even the government thought of that,
right.
and that is what we spoke over here at length. I hope that in the coming 12 months you get the home that you aspire for, and what Vivek said, according to that, at the price that you can afford it. Thank you, Vivek, for
Most
coming to my
welcome.
show. Thanks a lot for watching Square Feet India. We will keep coming up with several podcasts that interests you, that helps you make the right choice, and also helps you in not deviating and not going from what you exactly want. Thank you for watching us.